Look, I'm gonna stick to the same thing I said before we started. Before we started the show, before the season started, and everything. I am so frustrated with Mike Tomlin, but they gave him a 3-year extension. He's not going anywhere, and the main reason he's not going anywhere is because he has a no trade clause in his contract. So can we all please just get it out your system, vent? It's like if you drink too much, just go throw up and get it over with.
Welcome to Six Rings and Counting. You do not need to adjust your television sets. This is still a Pittsburgh Steelers show. We're just got to represent our Buckeyes. That being said, I'm Corey Idle. Joining me as always is Lou Willard. And boy, Lou, I'd like to say welcome back to you, but it's bittersweet times here on the show, man.
I mean, it's definitely a rough day. It's definitely a rough day, but what we have going for us is on our Steelers show, you can see we're all decked out in our Buckeye gear because our boy's about to bring home that national title tonight. So that gives you a little bit of buffer. But being that we're a Steelers show, we got a lot of Penn State fans that listen to this show that probably won't appreciate what we're wearing. So I'm sure we're here about it one way or another. But the first thing I want to get into with this show is I like to thank you personally for stepping up last week when I had to step out because of a family situation. And those of you who do have my cell phone number did reach out, and everything's okay. Nobody died. We dodged a bullet. Everything's okay. I'll leave it at that. But I do appreciate the concern. I appreciate you stepping up. And now with that being done, let's go ahead and get on with the show.
Let's get on with it, man. You know everybody got your back around here. Obviously, how I started the show last week, what I got to do again this week, because now I got an informed human being in front of me that I can ask this question to. Man, is it time to break up with Mike?
Look, I'm going to stick to the same thing I said before we started. Before we started the show, before the season started and everything. I am so frustrated with Mike Tomlin, but they gave him a 3-year extension. He's not going anywhere. And the main reason he's not going anywhere is because he has a no trade clause in his contract. So can we all please just get it out your system, vent? It's like if you drink too much, just go throw up and get it over with. Throw it up, get it out your system.
Yep. We
can quit talking about firing him because they're not. And they can't trade him because he has a no trade clause. And he told everybody kindly, save your time.
Yep.
I'm not going anywhere. So the Jets called, the Bears called. So what? They might as well have to call me. They got a better chance. They got a better chance of getting me than they do him.
Yeah, if I'm Mike Tomlin, I'm retiring before I'm going to the Jets or the Bears. I might go to the Bears. I damn sure ain't going to the Jets.
If I'm Mike Tomlin, I'm retiring before I go anywhere else because you're a staple in Pittsburgh. You won a Super Bowl. What other Pittsburgh coach has went and coached somewhere else? Oh, wait. First off, he's only the third one, so this is
right.
The bar's not really long. Nobody. Yeah. So he's not going. When he's done, he's done. I think he's 52 now. He's not going anywhere. And I have said, and I'm going to stand by this, with this 3-year contract, this was the first year, dude making about $16 million a year.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't get something done in the next 2, we can't re-up you. We can move you into management to be an assistant GM and help Omar or something, but we got to get a different coach.
Yeah.
We got to get a different coach because they are not firing him. The only guy I would replace him for anyway, because people always, who are you going to get? Who are you going to get? And I say that I'm people. Who are you going to get? Only person I would trade him for right now, which you can't trade him, but firing the pickup is Ben Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because he's going to score points. Did you watch the games this weekend?
Oh, they were
I'm
electric.
Man, look, these fools turned the ball over. Detroit, when I say that, Detroit Lions, who got beat, turned it over 5 times. Still put up almost 500 yards of offense and scored 31 points and turned it over 5 times.
It would take us 2 games to get that kind of offensive total.
I had somebody tell me, yeah, they gave
insane.
up 45. They gave up 45. I said their offense didn't.
No.
Their offense didn't give up 45. The defense did. And then they already had 13 players out on defense. And then 2 plays in the game, dude broke his damn arm. It looked nasty too. Snapped it right. Did. Snapped his, whatever that bone is, right? Snapped it. Pow. Friendly fire. Hit him, snapped his arm. But so I'm not people's, well, do you want to bring in Aaron Glenn? For what? We have Aaron Glenn. We have a defensive coach.
Yeah, we're good.
You want to get me? Look, if I could take my pick of any coach, say Tomlin wasn't here for all these people hating. And I get it. I love Mike, but I'm frustrated with him too. But it's kind of like a marriage. I've been with him for 40. Well, I'm 50. 48 years. Is the earliest picture I have is 48 years ago. Just a little frustrated with you right now, but we ain't gonna break up. We cool. But if we did, and they could say, go get any coach in the league you want, who do you think I would pick? I mean, even coaches that already have jobs.
Of any coach out there, who would you go get? It'd probably be Shanahan.
Nope.
Would be my guess. Who would it be?
Sean McVay.
Okay.
McVay for the Rams. McVay can coach his ass off.
Yep. He proved that yesterday dude, for sure.
He's proved it year over year over year. That dude can coach. Yes, now, I'm not against the 49ers coach at all, but McVay can coach.
You're right.
That fool can flat out coach tackle football.
Oh, the Rams had no business being in that game with Philadelphia yesterday, and they just stuck around. They just kept hanging around.
The best thing that happened for Philadelphia yesterday was that it snowed.
Yeah. Oh, that's the only reason they won that game. I'm telling you.
They might have got beat. And the Rams still had the ball to go take the lead in the snowstorm. And I'm sitting there watching, and I told my wife, I said, I'm just watching the offenses right now. Pittsburgh's not even in the same galaxy as these teams.
No.
That's how far behind Pittsburgh is offensively right now. So when you just circle back to your initial topic about Mike Tomlin, no, I would not get rid of him. I said it at the beginning. When they signed him in 3 years, I'd give him 3 years, but I will make it clear. In this next 3 years, if we don't see an AFC championship game, there's going to be a change. And your contract is up. So we will be willing to transition you into upper management, but you will no longer be the head coach. Because Mike Tomlin, Omar's the GM. Mike Tomlin signed off on every player.
Oh, sure.
Arthur Smith is the coordinator. It's already come out. Arthur Smith and Russell Wilson didn't get along because Arthur Smith wanted to play Justin Fields. So we got clearly what's going to happen. And my prediction is Russ is gone. Fields will be back on I would say a 2-year deal, probably 2 years, $40 million, give him $20 million a year, see what he can do. Issue I have is, why didn't you do that this year, Mike? Dude was 4-2. Okay, say he fall on his face and you wind up in the same place, you got to get a quarterback. Exactly. Now you still don't know. Or his 4-2 could have turned into 12-5.
Yep.
Because he was just getting warmed up. So in the big picture, what are you going to do? And everybody seems to think, even when I talk to some people I know in Pittsburgh, it's going to be Justin Fields, which it should have been already. Now, we go back to a few shows ago, probably 10, 11, 12 shows ago or whatever. And people, Lou, what do you think? Oh, well, Russell Wilson going to come in because Mike Tomlin told him he was. He's a man of his word. He is a man of his word, and he told him he would start when he was healthy. And that's all they did. Why Fields didn't get more opportunity in game, I have no idea. And that was part of Arthur Smith's frustration. So I don't think any of this is on Arthur Smith. You gave him a quarterback that he did not want to play. He did not want to play him. And then we had one receiver who's disgruntled.
Yep.
The receiver you picked to play didn't play at all this year, Roman Wilson. The one I said that's got a really good shot to be here for a long time, Calvin Austin, played his ass off when given the opportunity. That was it.
100%.
This is arguably, let me think. No, they better than the Bills receiving core. This receiving core is bottom 3 in the league.
Oh, absolutely.
So who we blaming? So then people will go, oh, so then why are you blaming Russ? I'm not blaming Russ. You look at Russ's stats, like you said when you did the show last week, which was a great show. If you guys haven't heard it, go back and listen to it. Corey was on point with all those stats. But the stats lied in that game. They were misleading. Pittsburgh in that game against the Ravens gave up a 95-yard drive, an 85-yard drive, and a 90-yard drive for touchdowns to start the game. And everybody said, Pittsburgh's offense is terrible. They weren't on the field.
No.
So the first thing I would do is sign Justin Fields. I'd fire Terrell Austin. But here's the kicker about that. Okay, Lou, you're going to fire Terrell Austin. Why? You know what you write. Mike Tomlin calling defense anyway. It's Mike Tomlin's defense. Might as well keep old boy. Because again, like you said on plenty of shows, Tomlin hiring his buddies and puppets. And that's all Terrell Austin is. He's just going off of what Mike Tomlin tell him to do. But we do have to address Minka Fitzpatrick contract.
That is going to be an issue, but let me ask you one more question here, sticking on the Tomlin stuff. Do we as Steelers fans then need to temper our expectations? Are we in a relationship right now with somebody who is just always going to have his side chicks and his dudes around, and that's just the way it's going to be? We just have to accept it.
Until he's gone. But do we have to temper expectations? Absolutely not. Then you become the Giants. You become the Browns. Man, I'm not settling. Fix it. You look how fast the Commanders turned around. One player and a coach that said, to hell with it, I'm going to wear my hat brackets on the sideline, look stupid while I'm doing it. And these some bitches, they a problem. They are a problem, and they're going to give Philly problems, but Philly will beat them. Philly will take them out. They'll close them out in the end and make it look a little bit bigger than what it was the whole game. But nonetheless, yes, you stuck with him for 2 more years because they're not getting rid of him. That the proof's in the fact that he's the 3rd coach they've had.
Right.
They're not changing coaches. And you made the perfect point when you did the show last week. All y'all who want Tomlin going, I'll say this, who are you going to get? But we all say who you're going to get, but you better be ready to have him for 20 years.
That's it.
Because that's what it is. You're going to have them for 15 to 20 years. It's not like you pick up a bad coach. Say they hired me. I don't know anything about football, which is clear by listening to the show. But they're not going to fire me after a year. They're not firing me after 5.
Right.
They're going to keep doubling down and tripling down and another contract. Yep. You're going to go 15 to 20 years before either you tap out or they make a change. Have they fired a coach?
No.
There you go.
Done and done.
Bill Cowher retired, and he retired because his wife got sick.
Right.
God rest her soul. Hate for that to happen to their family. But Bill Cowher left because of a family issue.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't going nowhere. So what make you think Mike is?
That's it.
So all the people saying cut that out, quit wasting your energy on it, and figure out how to make this work.
Yes.
And that's where you brought up before we started recording, you had some free agency questions and stuff. And that's what just all leads into that. And the elephant in the room to me is the quarterback. Like, I would say replace the defensive coordinator, but that means you replace the head coach because he's not going to let anybody else call that defense.
Exactly.
But
And
we do have to address Minka's contract.
Yeah. So talk to me.
Minka Fitzpatrick, love him. So we got to do one or two things. Dude making $18 million.
Mm-hmm.
To just sit back there and put a cap on the defense. Everybody want to yell at Minka. That's not Minka's fault. He's doing what they're asking him to do. So if you're going to give him that money, drop him in the box like the Ravens are doing with Kyle Hamilton and let him play tackle football. At one point, he was better than Hamilton. Hamilton done got him now because he's younger. Just, look, Father Time undefeated. Mm-hmm. The young boy better than Minka now. But he wasn't. He is now, though. But at least get him back in the game if you're going to pay him that much money. Because for what they have Minka doing, man, I can get you, man, we can go get two more guys.
Yeah.
Pay them $9 million a year and stick them back there to keep the top on the defense. It makes no sense. So either get rid of him, don't give him $18 million and restructure it, or let him go, trade him. Because you can get anybody to do that.
What is the thought process when you got a dog like Mika back there that can get in the box, that can mix it up? What is the thought process for keeping him back there? Or do you not trust your cornerbacks?
You don't trust the corners.
You're getting beat over the top too much?
Yeah, you don't trust the cornerbacks.
Yeah, okay.
You don't trust the corners. But my point is, then put the other safety back there.
Right.
You could play too high. You don't have to play single high safety. You can play too high, or if you're going to play single high, switch them. And then I'm going to tell you what, Patrick Queen.
Yeah.
Come on, bro. 3 years, $42 million. Get a stat line.
I was more impressed with our rookie Wilson than I was with Queen.
And a Landon Roberts.
Oh, yeah. Oh, 100%.
And they're talking about, should they bring a Landon Roberts back? Where he going to go?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Why is he even a topic of conversation? Of course they should give him a contract. What are you watching?
Yep.
If you take Queen, Roberts, and Wilson and say you got to trade one, I'm trading Queen.
100%.
So why are we even talking about the other one?
And you're going to get more value out of Queen anyway in that situation because of name recognition. His name alone is going to get him guaranteed money.
Only because of name recognition, because his production on the field was ass and you're not going to get anything for him.
Nope.
Because then they got to take on that contract.
Yep. And
that's just on the defensive side of the ball, which was, I don't know, successful.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, they had a good year.
They were great. Look, they played one game where they looked completely out of their element.
And that was the last one.
And that was the last game of the year, unfortunately. That was the only game that all facets of that game just looked ass. That's the only way to describe it.
It went bad.
And I want to go back to one thing you had mentioned about our disgruntled receiver, because I gave George a lot of crap during the season. And I will say this, and to your point, when Justin Fields was playing, he wasn't bitching.
Yeah.
And he still wasn't seeing the ball. But one, he was getting targets, and two, he and Justin developed a rapport that everybody just thought went away because Russ came in and had a good first couple games. Nah. That was George's quarterback too.
Yeah. And like everybody, he need to grow up, this, that. Yeah, he does. He does need to grow up. But the people saying that, I would ask them two things. Number one, have you ever played sports?
Mm-hmm.
If the answer is yes, my follow-up question is, would you be mad? Because I would be pissed if I was him. Now, I'm not saying I'd cut a fool like he doing, but I'd be hot.
How old is he?
Come on. 20, what is he, 23, 22?
I would show my entire
Well, he's been in the league.
ass.
He's been in the league 3 years, so that makes him at least 24, 25.
24, 25-year-old me with that much money would show my entire ass to the world. I would embarrass my family. I would embarrass my friends. It would be humiliating.
Because he wants to win.
Yeah.
Because he wants to win. Now, arguing with the fans, I do not ever agree with. He was 100% wrong for that. Yeah. There's no reason to do that. No need. You can't win that argument.
Just leave the fans alone.
Leave the fans out of it. But pitching a bitch in the locker room and stuff, man, look, hell yeah. I want to win. I don't think anybody can guard me. Why are we not throwing me the ball?
Yeah.
If I'm Derrick Henry, I would have went off yesterday after that game.
Yeah, okay, let's close the show out with this because we got to talk about the divisional round. We made promises to people. I'm going to bust through this real quick, Lou. You stop me when you're ready. Chiefs versus Texans. Thanks, referees. You did it again. Lions versus Commanders. That was one of the best games I've seen all season. That was phenomenal. Jaden Daniels is for real. Eagles Rams. That was just Eagles weren't going to lose that game in the snow. But if that was anywhere else, ooh, buddy. And Bills Ravens, I'm going to let Lou say everything he wants to say about this game.
I just can't understand it. We were texting back and forth last night. Mm-hmm. And you go out and get Derrick Henry for these games. You got one drive where you need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. He doesn't even step on the field until you score the touchdown. And then in the 2-point conversion, he's a decoy. I get Mark Andrews dropped the ball. It hit him in both hands, then his chest, then his face mask, then his hands again, and then he dropped it. I have no problem with Mark Andrews. He's arguably a Hall of Fame tight end. Arguably, we can discuss that in a later show. He just dropped the ball. Problem is, he should have never been in that position.
Yep.
If I'm that coach, I have Lamar and Henry, two of the top, let's just say top 10 so we don't have to argue about it with people. Mm-hmm. But in my opinion, two of the top 5 players in the NFL. Mm-hmm. Why are we not running an option? And I mean literally snap it and we going left or right.
Yep.
And Lamar keeping it for 2 yards and we tying it up, or we pitching it to Henry and he getting 2 yards. And if they stop us, I'll be the first one to jog across the field, shake the coach's hand. Good game. But I'm dying on the hill with the ball in my best player's hands. Mark Andrews is the 4th or 5th best player on that team now because he had a rough year.
Yeah.
Because don't forget about Zay Flowers. I know he did not play.
Zay Flowers was on his way, 100%.
And he's better than Andrews right now, which he should be. He's a lot younger. And Isaiah Likely had a nice game. You didn't even throw it to him. Dude, he got the height advantage on everybody. But they went to the man that's been reliable for years. Since Lamar they came in the league together. He's been there 7 years.
Yeah.
And he dropped the ball. But my point is, I disagree with that because you got the 2-time reigning MVP, about to be 3, and you picked up the second best back in the league, and he never touched the ball. And we only need 2 yards.
Yep. And
I don't get it.
If anybody out there is questioning Lou's, because I get it, the old go-to is play action to the tight end when you're down in the red zone, fine. But if you're doubting what Lou is saying, look at what the Bills did every time they needed to score, which, by the way, was damn near every score they had. Josh Allen ran the option so many times. Josh Allen ran up. They ran it 3 times in a row with Josh Allen in the red zone.
Do you realize Baltimore didn't punt? Do you realize
3 turnovers?
Well, the turnovers helped that situation too. But you're still in the game with 3 turnovers.
Yeah, 100%. You were there.
And Do you also realize that Baltimore had 175, 180 more total yards than the Bills?
No reason.
And this is a Steelers show. And I know a lot of people going, what you bitching for? Because I'm a football guy.
Yep.
Simple shit like this is why Pittsburgh is in the situation they're in.
Yep.
What are you doing not throwing to George Pickens? What are you doing not giving Jalen Warren the ball more?
Yep.
What are you doing not going to get another wide receiver?
Yep.
We got so many shows in a row we could do. I'm not even getting into this, man.
Oh, yeah. Our off season's going to be so full.
Look, they're stressing me out. They done stress me out because quit coaching and just let your players play.
That's all. It is truly that simple.
Yep.
And John Harbaugh, or is it Jim or John? I always get him.
That's John in Baltimore.
That's John. That's what I had. John always, I won't say always, but he seems to be doing this the last couple years where he's overthinking his game plan, whether it's in crunch time like that was against the Bills, or whether it was in the AFC divisional game against the Chiefs last year, or not the AFC Championship game.
But he wasn't. He
totally abandoned who they were.
He wasn't the only one, though. Do you realize the team that had the most total yardage lost every game this weekend? You realize Detroit had more yards than Washington, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Detroit turned it into a turnover machine.
But they turned over 5 times.
Yep.
Baltimore had almost 200 more total yards, turned over 3 times.
Wild.
The Texans had more yards than the Chiefs. Less everything except till the penalty flags come in, because they had 2 defensive players run into each other and they threw a roughing the passer call. Because Mahomes was standing there watching.
Uh-huh.
That's the problem you got with that. Yeah, that's the problem you got with that.
It's so dumb. Like you just whatever.
but every team that had the most total yards lost. That is
wild.
That is hard to do. That is hard to do.
Wild stat. Let me ask you here as we're winding up. You got the conference championship games coming up here. You got Commanders going to the Eagles, an NFC East matchup that is going to be amazing. They split in the regular season 1-1, and you got the Bills and the Chiefs playing again. If memory serves, the Bills beat the Chiefs this year in the regular season, so that'll be interesting.
They did, but they beat them in Buffalo.
Okay. So what are you seeing now for these 2 games?
We'll start with the NFC because that's not the conference that we're on. This game is close for a while, but I think the Eagles end up walking away from them. Well, Shane, what's the coach, Steichen? Is that, or am I in Indianapolis? Their names are so familiar, I get them mixed up.
Yeah.
But anyway, if the Eagles coach turn around, hand the ball to 26, the game's over. The Commanders beat them the second time because Hurts got hurt, and then they got stuck with our old dude, Kenny Pickett. That's exactly why the Eagles lost that game. But the kid, Jaden Daniels, is going to do his thing. But the Eagles are going to be too much. It's at home. They're not blowing this opportunity to go to Super Bowl. I say the Eagles beats them by 13 to 17 points. I don't really see it being that close. Yeah. The next game, hold on a second. The next game. All right. The Bills are supposed to beat these fools by 13 points.
Yep.
How much? Let's see how many penalty yards and penalties are thrown in this game. That's all I can say. The Bills are the better team. I'm yelling last night about the Ravens because I think the Ravens were the best team in the NFL. Mm-hmm. But they couldn't get out their own way.
No.
But the Bills are the second best team in the NFL. And second or third, depending on Detroit, but Detroit got beat. Nonetheless, the Bills are supposed to boat race the Chiefs, but the referees won't let it happen.
Nope.
But I'm predicting of Philadelphia, Buffalo, Super Bowl. Buffalo's not going to let this shit happen. They can't. Start a fight first. Yeah, I'm dead serious. Don't let them cheat you out that stadium.
I would totally agree with you. But every time I have gone against the Chiefs this year, the same thing keeps happening. So you know what? Chiefs and the Eagles. And no matter who it is, unless it's Jaden Daniels, I'll be honest with you. Quick secret time. I don't give a shit who wins the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't. And it's not that I dislike the teams. I think your fan bases suck. Philadelphia, Buffalo, and Kansas City. Ugh.
They
pass. Do. Hard pass.
They all suck, but I'll pull for the Eagles. I mean, I'm pulling for the Eagles because of Trey.
Sure.
And those you don't know, my son is a diehard Eagles fan. Not sure how that happened. I got to ask my wife. Yeah, well, he's 29. I got to ask my wife. We might have to have a little testing done at this point in time. But nonetheless, I am pulling for the Eagles. But the Bills are supposed to go right in there. If they don't outthink it and just go play, they win. They win until the yellow flags start flying. That's the kicker. I will be very curious to see. People say, well, let's just see how many penalties are thrown. No, okay, we can do that. But let's see when they're thrown.
Exactly.
They could throw 13 on the Chiefs. But if it's a false start, they lined up offside.
Yeah.
They did. But then against the Bills, it's PI. It's PI. It's roughing the passer. It's roughing the – those are not the same.
Not even
so
close.
Let's see when they're thrown and what's called. Like when they tackled Lamar Jackson out of bounds last night, if that was Mahomes, do be suspended the next game.
Oh, there'd be a moment of silence across the country.
That's my point.
We could not have it.
So that's why I say Buffalo will win by 13 to 17 points because they have to. They will not win by 3. They won't win by 4. You have to be up by at least 9. That way, if they score and go for 2, they still need they need a possession again. If you ain't got them by 9, them referees throwing them flags. So Buffalo will have to beat them. And mark my words, once the Chiefs losing this run is over for going to the Super Bowl, it's over. They don't win this game. They're not going back to the AFC Championship game next year. They'll win their division because it's trash. Well, I'll take that back. The Chargers will probably win it.
Or Broncos.
Not the Broncos.
Don't sleep.
I think Harbaugh, as much as I hate him, is a better coach than Sean Payton.
Oh, 100%.
And they got the better quarterback. And nonetheless, if the Chiefs lose this game, they won't be back to the Super Bowl in the next 10 years.
No, pieces are starting to disappear.
Well, Kelsey's done. Yeah,
Exactly.
Kelsey's done. I mean, he's 34. He my age. He's 34.
Yep.
I mean, I'm going to cut 17 off of that.
I said yep right along with you until you started doing your yap. And then it was like, well, now I can't roll with the lie. You got to help me out. Help me help you.
Oh, man. Oh, they already know.
So we're looking at a Philadelphia-Buffalo Super Bowl. That'll be a good game regardless. Fan bases aside, I don't have to go to either city. So I'm cool with whoever wins that one, to be honest with you.
Yeah, just let them beat each other up in the parking lot.
Yeah, totally. Slam each other through tables or do whatever you want to do.
The only people be in the game be corporate people because all the real fans will be out in the parking lot fighting.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Nobody gonna watch the game. You got a fan base that's putting each other through tables and one that had a jail in their stadium. That ought to be good.
Yeah, dude. The only way this could be better is if you make it a battle royale and throw in Cleveland Browns fans.
But you said something about the Super Bowl.
Oh, that's right, I did. Well, we need parking lot attendance.
Yeah, they don't get to those unless they buy a ticket.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't even think the Browns could afford those tickets. So, with that being said, we'll be back next week. We're going to get really into free agency next week, start chopping that up. We'll do a little bit of a Super Bowl preview, and we'll go from there. Sounds like fun. Not talking about the Steelers for a little bit.
Yeah, and before you sign off, y'all know my Buckeyes bringing it home over Notre Dame tonight. That's all I got to say about
I hope so, because this show comes out like 4 days after that game. So we're either wearing that ring or we're walking down the street with the shame bell.
Oh, okay. Then we win it by at least 17 tonight.
Suck it, Irish. For Lou Willard, I'm Corey Idle. Go Bucks.